at the Equity leadership and how they were able to communicate with me, to be accessible with me, I mean, it all came down to, I really felt good partnering with them. I trusted them.
And I think that relationship piece, you can't underestimate the values that Equity has. And with relationships, it's looking at being good on their word, and they said this is what's the right thing to do for this client, for this situation. And I think it started to develop that level of trust so that we knew that going forward we'd be able to tackle when we had issues arise on how we were going to come to a resolution.
When I first met with Equity several years ago, it was just basically a cold call discussion, and I felt a connection right away about their mission, their ethics, and in this day and age that's very important. Through the several years of this project, they never disappointed in that respect.
We had originally been involved with a different management partner that after several years of expense and attempts and architectural fees and impact fees was unsuccessful. And then we actually had the good fortune of meeting the management team from Equity, who graciously agreed to take over the project for us. And they built for us a building that included, as stated, an operating room, imaging center, and medical office space. And they did so really in what I think is a unique way for today's environment. The building came in absolutely on time and absolutely on budget, not a penny over budget.
You know, one of the things that when I think about our partnership over the whole development process, we teamed up with Equity a lot as we were looking at the individual physician practices and who would be a good group to be engaged as a part of this process. We looked at, as we brought physician practices in, how we worked through what was going to be the best for their space. Equity really took the lead on looking at opportunities for ownership, for investment, and we're able to answer a lot of those questions that physicians may or may not be as familiar with.
I thought they took a very active role in physician recruitment. When I think about our group and how we were recruited into the project, and then how Equity continued to ask and poll us who else would be wonderful partners. Just wonderful commitment to recruitment and partnership with the physicians.
We asked Equity to review the program management for a primary care facility in Grayson, Kentucky. I'm happy to report they were able to cut the building in half, which is more than what we need, but allows us to grow into the space. So I was very impressed with their ability to focus in on not building the church for Easter Sunday type of thing, and allow us to focus on expanding the services that are needed in that community. And secondly, they were able to do this redesign and appropriate design with financial creativity to allow us to be able to afford it. I certainly would not hesitate to utilize Equity again, so I have no hesitation to recommend for them for future projects for other organizations, and we would certainly bring them back when a need arises.
If I look at it from the bigger project perspective, if we go back to where we were 3 years ago, we brought this project in on time, we brought this project in on budget, we brought this project in during an economy that was really at a fragile state, and we were able to open with a success model because we had the physicians already engaged in the project. We see over 1,000 patients a day through this location, and it's because of the dedication and time that Equity spent on that front end as a part of the design process and as part of the implementation plan.
It was good to have them as our representative on the business elements. I mean, I can't imagine anyone who knows the medical building and commercial space world as well as Equity.
Our experience with Equity has been nothing short of pleasant, professional, and their company is admirable. They hadn't just been a partner that walked away with completion of the building, but rather with every issue or question that's arisen, even with the help of recruitment of additional tenants. They've been there right away, completely accessible, with nothing more than a phone call. And in fact, everything that Equity has stated or asserted that they would do for us has been done flawlessly, professionally, and without one hitch or problem. So in short, if I were to do another medical project or another professional office building, I would not hesitate to use Equity again. And in fact, I've recommended them to friends and colleagues and can't imagine doing another construction project without them. So if you're contemplating Equity versus other people, I can tell you that our experience with Equity has been nothing but positive. And I can honestly say that I've had so much respect for their management team that I feel that they've truly become friends. If you're contemplating them, you have somebody that's just an extraordinary business partner at your fingertips. I encourage you to use them.